There is inside of you all of the potential to be whatever you want to be. All of the energy to do whatever you want to do. To do whatever you want to do, imagine yourself as you would like to be. And though times it may seem too difficult to continue, hold on to your dream. For one morning, you will awake to find that you are the person you dreamed of, doing what you want to do, simply because you had the courage to believe in your potential and hold on to your dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, and fellow TRiO alums, I am Perry Watson from South Bend, Indiana, home of the sometimes fighting Irish. But we are fighting this year to win a national championship after decades. And I am honored to be here at the 2012 Mid-American Association of Educational Opportunities Program Personnel Conference. Y'all get a short name. I want to thank Chris Welch, my fraternity brother, and Stephen Ponzella, director of TRiO's program at Notre Dame University, for nominating me, and give an honor to God for all praises that is due. I'm honored to stand here before you having realized most of my dreams, including being a motivational speaker today. I have dusted off my dream box to look inside the next chapters of my life and motivated to be driven by those projects in that box. You know, I read a poem by Donna Levin, You Can Be Whatever You Want to Be, and she captures the essence of what I believe. You can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do, if you're willing to pay the price. You know there is a price for success and failure. I chose rather to pay the price of success. But she didn't tell us how to do that. She did say each day take one step towards your dream. But what if you don't have a dream or a vision of what is possible in your life? I stand here today a poster child for affirmative action, what it can do. All my life, people of goodwill have opened doors for me and provided the chance to seize the opportunity. That's what advocacy and action is all about. Every child needs an advocate who looks out for them. Upward Bound changed the trajectory of my life. And I shudder to think where I would have been had it not been for Dr. George Padres, my 8th grade art teacher, Mr. Luther Deese. They saw something in me I didn't see in myself. And they invited me into the program, providing me with mentoring, tutoring, expectation, hope, exposure. They taught me that decisions matter. You show me someone who makes good decisions, and I'll show you someone who's having a very successful life and are fulfilled. It is vitally important to provide the opportunity to students who are just like me. So you see, I wasn't dumb or a problem. I just didn't get school. Yes, I understood kind of that education was important, but nobody connected the dots like, why should I care that Columbus discovered America? Or how was I going to use a quadratic equation? Or why in the heck did I have to diagram a sentence? I now understand why. I was an entrepreneur in waiting, a square peg in a round hole. So Up or Down helped me to begin to connect the dots. They explained why a college degree was essential. They exhorted me to rise, live up to my potential. As a matter of fact, I was one of those old alumnus, around 68, when the program just got started. And I remember them telling us, you have to be successful or this program won't continue. And we were very successful. Does everybody know where you can find the most unrealized potential? Does everybody know? Anybody? Yeah, you got it. The graveyard. People going to their grave never knowing what they could be, or they were too afraid or unwilling to pay the price to realize it. So next time you go by a graveyard, think about that. In South Bend now, I mentor and speak often to students from second grade and upward. And one thing that troubles me is the lack of vision, the lack of dreams or exposure to what is possible. How can you achieve or strive for something that you don't know exists? That is why young African-American males dream of being professional athletes or hip-hop artists. They see something tangible, and they say, I want to be that. They feel it. They pursue it. As you mentor and counsel and direct students, know that exposure to me is as important as education. To know about opportunities is vital, and it must be done early so they don't have the same fate I almost had. Teach them that it's not just what they want to be, but who they want to be. I am alarmed and disappointed when I go into schools about the lack of career discussions and exposure for low-income students. You know, the low-income students don't enjoy what my children enjoyed. Spirited dinner conversations about business, politics, education, social issues, and exposure to our friends. My wife was with IBM and I was with Xerox, and we had a pleasure of professional colleagues. Is it any wonder that all four our college graduates are dreaming big and well on their way? None of this would have been possible without Up or Down. So I want to share a few nuggets that I've learned and what I think you can do to help students soar in the future. Teach them that life is a journey, not a destination. That where they are now does not define where they can go. And that it's okay to fall down, but it's not good if you don't get up. Tell them that decision makers matter. The quality of their decisions matter. How small they are. Help them make good decisions. 3, help them understand to take advantage of every opportunity as if it was their last one. You know, if there's anything that I praise God for, is understanding that when opportunities came, I never believed it would ever happen again. So I seized it and took advantage of the opportunity. Number 4, be worthy of the chance you were provided. Someone gave you the chance over somebody else. So be worthy of that. Make them aware of that. Make them accountable, as I was, to my mentors. Always be prepared to do your homework. And I have to tell you a story about my mentor in business, Mr. Vic Copang, who taught me how to be prepared. I learned everything in management from him. And he taught about how to be prepared and always being buttoned up and be prepared for everything. And one time we were having an account review and I was not buttoned up and we were going through lackluster and he got up and stopped the meeting and walked out. And he called me outside and he says, Perry, I'm disappointed in you. I taught you better than that. And so when you feel like getting together, you call me. So I rehearsed my team. I mean, we were tight. And I said, Mr. Copain, we're ready. And as we were going through the presentations, I mean, we were tight. We had it buttoned up, and he stopped and says, I'm done. And he says, Perry, come outside. I said, well, why are you leaving? He says, I said, we prepared this for you. He says, oh, no. This was for you. Always be prepared. You don't need me. And I never forgot that. Ethics and values matter. If you lie now, you'll lie then. You'll cheat on your taxes. You see in our press today about our generals. Ethics matter. It is unfathomable that you have to teach ethics in college. What is that all about? Either you believe, you can't serve two masters. Don't get me to preach now. Never forget where you came from. Give back. As Michelle Obama said, don't slam the door after you walked in. Open it for someone else. And somehow I know the separation of church and state and all that, but believe in God and understand the only true success comes from Him. Somehow you got to sneak that in. Last but not least, I'd like to read you a poem. This poem was inspired by a conversation I had with my son who checked me. And from that, he inspired me to write this. Talk to me, and I will listen. Speak to me, and I will hear you. Walk with me, and I will follow. Oh, I need and desire wise counsel. Can a student correct the teacher? The answer is wisdom does not exclusively reside in the old. For out of the mouth of babes ye shall know the truth. Tell it. Tell it like it is. Tell it as it should be so we can hear it and be better for it. Sometimes we don't know how we are seen or heard, meaning to do good, but achieve the opposite. Let us make the change necessary to accentuate the positive side of life and not dwell on the failures and problems and shortcomings, but celebrate all that is good in those we love and ourselves. You spoke to me and I listened, and I heard exactly what you said and what needed to be spoken. And that is good. That is good. So have a great conference. Keep doing the great work. And remember, you are planting a good seed. Be okay with that. There will be a great harvest that you may never see. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that if you need a Lexus,